Gaurav ji, we can start.
Okay, Sonali. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thank you all of you for as a being a patience listener in last week. And impact of that is that I am again. So again, for next 1 hour, you all have to hear me out, and I would be trying again to talk something unique, something helpful, and so that ultimately the main objective to enhance. The business of organization helps out. We all, I would try best to talk more about how things can be sharpened up in all of us, and definitely all of you should be more interactive. I would be like this particular session is totally all about interaction. We would be talking mainly as the topic what Sonali says is pitching the pitch. So we would be talking more about how to what is pitch and how to do the proper pitching. So definitely I would be seeking advices from you all in even in this presentation and even in day-to-day activities that even how I can make myself better. So not wasting much of the time, I'm directly going to the presentation. So, welcome to all. This is session two. And as the topic says in the email, pitching the pitch. So, today precisely we will be talking about the recap, what we did last week. We would be talking pitch out of the post today again, and then we would be focusing on what is pitch, what is the importance and impact of this pitch. What is the pitch skeleton, like how a pitch has to be created and what are the points to be added and what are the points which has to be emphasized when we are pitching a pitch in front of any customer. And then uh, I have shortlisted three pitches which we prepared in the initial phases during COVID times when we had this sessions, and we all did multiple exercises and few pitches were made in multiple products. So today I would be emphasizing on one of the pitch of Hora, one of the pitch of Level State, and one of the pitch of Campbell. And subsequently, how session goes, we would be talking more about the interaction. So at any, as I would be doing recap, at any point of time, anybody can have any query which they were unable to answer, ask last week or we were unable to answer. Uh, Please free to unmute yourself and ask question. So this is what we started last week was that impact of sales visit without homework. So we only said that this is as per the Google that only 11% of the get this second call. So this is what homework is important for all of us, and we all have to do be ready before even visiting a client. And this is what we discuss as the sales engine, that how we have to act as a magnet to attract more and more clients or more leads, and then we have to do a proper funneling, and we have to click a bonsai so that we get maximum revenue out of these leads. And we even talked about a new business development, that how we have to convert the strangers into visitors, visitors to leads, leads to customers, and the best scenario that our own customer become a promoter of us and they give references to the different clients. And this is all we discussed, and then we even discussed about how to enhance or increase the conversion ratio, or rather converting leads into new customers. We talked about that we have to give a ample time of customers to make those decisions. We have to be justified in our follow-ups. We need to understand the customer's buying cycle, and we should not uh, irritate them with unwanted or unnecessary calls, or rather we should plan our visits or calls in a proper fashion so that and that we can only do when we understand the TAT. We understand where how the things flows in the customer cycle, and how time is from one department to another department, the processing takes place. We discussed about the high-tech sales funnel, which we are following, and now we are following in SAP that first or foremost, what we create is the lead, and then we mature it to a budgetary level. Budgetary level is something wherein we give uh, a first cut proposal, technical and commercial proposal to a end user, not to purchase, to a end user, wherein they get a fair cut idea about what investment they have to do for procuring any product or services from us. And then it comes PQR criteria, which is very, very important in all the sales funnel, and in fact, in our cycle as well. PQR is something which comes up for the commercial closer as well as technical closer, in which if I talk about commercial closer, which means setting the payment terms, setting the qualifying criteria which suits our like balance sheets, turnovers, past references, competition analysis, technical data, so that not much competitions are pitching. So these all things come up as a PQR. And then is a firm. So firm is a stage when a tender comes in our hands, or rather when we have a firm inquiry and we give a commercial, fair commercial proposal. And then it comes a time of enjoyment. That is a PO receival, wherein we do parties and everything and we enjoy it. So this is a sales funnel which we uh, bring or which high tech talks about. And last stage, which is never talked in the sales funnel, is collection of payment. So it is with return hidden within a PO receipt. So when we talked about this open terms PO receipt, this is not just a piece of paper which comes from the customer end and we take a contact number. It follows its cycle closes when we supply the material and we get the full and final payment. So this payment part is hidden part of the PO receivable. And then we talked about conversion ratio. We talked about how the system of conversion ratio flows in Paul and wherever we get a maximum crash. As last week, BRP sir suggested that we need to have a particular session on crash. As of now, because today we are only talking about pitch, so that is still in the diaries, and very shortly a PPT will come on the maximum crash as well, and how to reduce these crashes. We talked about post, pitch, objection handling, sales tool, and training. Last week, we gave a very little about idea about the pitch. Today, we will discuss more in thorough, in depth about the pitch. So, what is pitch? Is pitches which makes the customers to want to buy rather rather than you wanting to sell. So pitch is something which we discussed last week is a combination of the open-ended questions which start with why, where, who, what, how, and when. So when we talked about that when we would be starting the open-ended questions, then we would be exactly getting the fair idea about the customers and problems, and then we can propose a proper solution for that. We talked about science and arts about the sales, and we talked about science behind the pitching. So, first and foremost thing is do need analysis. That is the homework to press the hot buttons of the customers to understand the customer's biggest problem and then propose a solution for that particular problem. And then we have to expand that problem so that customer gets have a hefty interest on the solution what we are providing. And when they really the pain starts, or rather when they will buy, when they themselves are understanding their problem, then only customer will buy. So we will have to make them hard that whatever whatever problem they are facing is literally in some or other way, maybe in revenue loss, maybe in uncertainty, maybe in reliability, maybe in the efficiency, it is hurting their issues or their power plant or the end customer or even the end product, then only they will buy your product and that particular pitching will serve the purpose. Uh, we talked about what something is and what something does. This is what we have to propagate in the customer's mind as a feature and a benefit. We talked about as to discuss about the USP of your particular product. So, from the recap, this was all a recap. If anybody is having any question on this recap or the last week's session, please unmute and ask, and then I will start from this particular topic pitch. Anybody, any query, any concern? Okay, thank you. So, as in the starting of this session, I said today's session is totally focused about pitch. So, let us first understand. We have been talking a lot about pitch. Let us first understand what is pitch. So, I have googled a very beautiful definition of uh, pitch from this. This is from a Britannica dictionary, which says. Sales pitch as a pitch that is given for a purpose of influencing people into buying anything. So, a statement or a dialogue which is given for a purpose of influencing customer to buy anything. So, pitch is not a statement to sell anything. Pitch is to influence the customer. And there is the bottom line. This is the dotted line of the sales pitch. We have to convey our things in a manner that we are able to influence the customer. Pitch makes it easy for clients to hear customer stories. So, whatever we want to talk about, whatever we want to convey about our product, this is the only medium. Pitch is the only medium to make the customer understand what we want to tell about us. So, from the definition of pitch, let us move to next slide, which is importance of sales pitch. It is basically a salesperson's ability, like a sales pitch enhances the ability of the salesperson to give the importance of your product or service and to make the customer understand the cruciality of the product or the services and to help you to understand or make a success your to make a success in understanding the customer about the criticality of your product or services. It does not matter how great your product is. If you can't communicate its value effectively. So, just an example like a Campbell's air purifier. We all know that these are best in class. Our air purifiers of the Campbell's are best in class. We know the product catalog talks about it, website talks about it. But if we are unable to communicate that effectively to customer, they won't buy. So unless until we communicate it, they will only compare it with the local competitions like MI, Sharp, whatever available in the Flipkart. So if we want to have a value proposition, sales pitch will help us to communicate it effectively. And and this is where sales pitch mastering has come up. So why this particular topic has come up over here that even if though all the PLs within high tech will share the sales pitches of those product or application with all of us, but unless until we have our own mastery in telling those sales pitch, so those write up was only won't help. One thing is a proper structure of the sales pitch, and second is mastery in delivering that sales pitch. So these two things has to be taken care whenever we are communicating anything to our customers. And this will make a difference between closing a deal and losing a potential customer. So even though a customer has a desire to buy something, and even though we have a proper sales pitch, uh, which has been delivered to us in a written format from our PL, but if we don't have a mastery to how to communicate that sales pitch and when to communicate that sales pitch to a customer, we won't be able to crack that deal. So this is a crux of this particular slide. And then once we have a proper sales pitch in hand, and then we have a proper mastery of delivering that sales pitch, and then what impact that will cause it? it is basically uh, compelling, like it is basically important because in present competitive business environment, uh, unless until you have a mastery in these two things, we cannot survive because customer have multiple options. They don't have only Campbell available with us. They have multiple options in their basket, and even many salespersons would be visiting those premises. But it is all about impact of your sales pitch, which will ultimately yield results. And what is that result is? If if you are having a proper sales pitch and it has been delivered with proper mastery, and then you will be able to capture the attention of your audience to whomsoever you are delivering that product, build their interest in your product or the services, whatever you are offering, and ultimately, definitely, it will lead into the sales. So, we talked about two things, a proper sales pitch and mastery. So, mastery is something which we have to uh, I would say grow ourselves because how properly we learn those sales pitches, the tone of the sales pitch, the command of the sales pitch, uh, including open-ended questions as per the present scenario in those sales pitches. So these all things is inherited, or rather, we have to learn ourselves because we cannot, like nobody can make Gaurav learn that if you are sitting in front of the customer, when you have to ask question with who or what or where. It is my uh, inherent learning and from the front of the customer that when I have to only deliver the sales pitch or when I have to ask the open questions. But what we can make a frame is a proper skeleton of the sales pitch. And this is something which is already there in the Google Drives. And in recent next few weeks, we would be again having discussions with all the PLs and GLs, and we would be trying to further enhance, increase the sales pitches, or rather, if any modification in last 2 to 3 years is required, or something modification has already been done, which is not entered into the Google Drive, we would be doing that as well. But before I jump to the sales pitch, this is a skeleton which was discussed in COVID era during our presentations, and this was identified that introduction, USP, problem identification, problem, expand the problem, benefits, and references. So we talked about that these 6 parameters should be there whenever we are preparing or delivering any sales pitch of any product or services to any ex-customers. With these 6 points, we can frame a sales pitch. Plus, with the open-ended questions, we have to do our own dialogues with the customers. So let's explore few of the sales pitches which we were prepared and which were all based on these, I would say, skeleton of the sales sales pitch. So I am first highlighting the sales pitch of level state. This page is sales pitches for the existing customers for a new application. So as the topic says, level state systems for use in new application for existing customers. So suppose already a system is having a DWLG, any ex-customer is having a DWLG and we want to uh, pitch it EDLI. So this particular sales pitch was framed. So what we have to do is before delivering, and as we said, homework. So this is a statement of the homework to do prior to visit. What we have to do in the homework is complete understanding of the plant steam intake and offtake points at all locations, production capacity, sorry, market reputation, and financial status. Why this is important? Because if we are going to promote EDLI, we have to understand first that whether that customer is uh, really having some financial status to invest 5 or 6 lakhs against DWLG, or it is just a waste of time. So this is what we can have a look onto it. And then we have to have a details of other areas of level product application and plant of the same group. So if suppose if that particular group is having 5, 6 power plants or say sugar plants all over India with sugar with captive power plants. So we have to first understand कि बाकी प्लांटों में क्या लगा हुआ है. Is there any X plant of that particular group having EDLI with that? That will help us in a references and that will help us in proper pitching. That will be a value addition while we will be doing a pitching. Then we have to take a few testimonials of the happy customers for that particular product. We have to understand what are the nearby plants who are using level state products. We already have a referral internal list. We have to drag out of that list about the existing plants, and that will be added point in our standard pitch. And then we have to go with our complete sales shoot ready. So I will brief about the sales pitch. Our sales pitch it starts with introduction, which is introduction of first about our company, and then an introduction about the level state, and brief about the satisfaction level what customer is having. And then we are coming straightway to the topic. We are here to discuss about other applications areas like feed water heater, deaerator, water storage tank, condenser hot well, turbine bypass drain sump, cold reheat drain sump, any one of this to which we are going to pitch that particular customer, where level state products can be used. After introduction comes up idea of USP. Power plants have secured their plant equipment worth multiple crores and prevented loss of innumerable lives by using our products. So this is the USP of our particular ADLI or any of the level estate product. What's because we had all the products are dealing with the steam water applications. After telling the USP, we would be trying to understand we would be doing the problem identification. Sir, in order to provide you right solution, may I ask you a few questions regarding your steam intake and outgoing points in your power plants? What applications are having level measurement issues? A open-ended question. Uh, we have to ask this question and wait for the customers to respond. What equipments are being used there? Again, an open-ended question wherein customer will be forced to give some responses. How many times you have faced shutdown due to high level, low level of water? If you are talking say to a senior level or decision making level person, if you are asked this type of open-ended question, what will happen? He will have to ring the operation guys or the control room persons, or he may even call them. So again, an open-ended question wherein he will have to collect the data and give you. And once he would be collecting this data, or rather, he might be having this data, because there might be instances that he might have faced some such issues and he might have called you. So if he is having a ready-made data, he would be giving it. Else, he will be calling his operation guys to collect that data. And with this problem identification question, your next stage will come up as problem. This problem, like what idea he is giving in point number 2 and 3, you have to correlate with the existing problems faced by some ex-customer, and then you have to accordingly convey this. Sir, due to inefficient method of level measurement like float switch, plant compromise on heat rate, which ultimately leads to loss in plant efficiency. So, with a small topic of uh, your pitching to a product, you have diverted his mind to plant efficiency. So you have increased the problem level. His thinking for the problem level, you have multiplied it to X times. And this is something which is not to be conveyed. This is for a sales engineer references. Like while you are talking, you can elaborate this. A typical 500 megawatt power plant, 1% improvement in heat rate results in saving almost 3.5 crores a year. So with a 5 lakhs equipment you are going to deliver to a product you are going to pitch, you are talking about saving of around 3.5 crores per annum. Typically, feed water heaters, condenser, hot well, etc. are installed in power plants to increase heat rate. But unfortunately, due to lack of proper level measuring equipments, this plant fails to understand accuracy of steam and water inflow, outflow, and thus compromise on heat rate improvement. So instead of pitching a EDLI, what you are saying is, sir, with this product, you can enhance the heat rate. And if customer will say that, oh, for increasing the heat rate, we already have feed water heaters or condenser water hot wells, then you can say that they are not that very effective, and we have multiple references. And then you can convince her that if you are able to improve 1% of the heat rate, you are able to save almost 3.5 CR per annum. With this identification of the problem, now comes the sales part of product positioning. Sir, an installation of level measurement equipment like EDLI or ELS can give you exact reading of steam and water level, providing you complete assurance for calculation of heat rate. Level state EDLI ELS system is suitable for monitoring water level, including alarm and trip at preset level of steam generating plant. So what you did with this particular sales pitch, you are not talking about selling EDLI or ELS. You are pitching it how to enhance the heat rate. How what bu- how to what you are doing, sir? हमारा प्रोडक्ट लगाओ आप हमारे प्रोडक्ट में वाटर लेवल का प्रॉपर अलार्म है ट्रिपिंग के लिए अलार्म है प्रीसेट वैल्यूज है ये आपको हेल्प करेगा एग्जैक्ट कैलकुलेशन ऑफ हीट रेट में एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी वांट टू सेल टू यू and then you talk about few of the hot buttons of the EDLI or ELS. Sir, there is a reduction in the downtime which will help in minimizing the revenue loss. Sir, our systems are built for long, trouble-free life with minimal maintenance, integral validation process with inhibited any nuisance strip. Sorry, thus preventing huge unwanted revenue loss. Sir, our systems come up with very easy in installations and commissioning, erections and commissioning. These are designed to suit customer needs and 100% retrofit. Saying this, you say that whatever installation they have, we can have a retrofit to them. Erection and commissioning activities are fastest in the industry and fully supported by our expert technical guidance. So, with saying this particular benefit, what you are clearing in his mind is what would be running his mind, or what might be asking is we already have a X system, and it is not easy to go to 30-meter or 20-meter height on the boiler and do the erection and commissioning. Sir, we have expertise and we can do it the fastest. You are creating a trust factor by giving this particular benefit to the customer. And last and foremost is if he is doing a retrofit or a new system, what he wants is a prompt service and spares. Sir, we have a trained and qualified service engineers available pan-India with 11 branches to provide best of the services with the shortest available notice. All critical spares are available ex stock at High-Tech Kolkata. So this particular benefit will enhance your pitching. And then finally, you have to tell about few of the major references, as we said in the starting, that first, sorry, identify the references which are near to that customer, and then talk about some of the major clients. NTPC, DVC, Vedanta, Zindalco, Adani, so state electricity boards. So when you will be talking about big brands, big names, a comfort level or other a confidence level will come up. If you have any reference of the same group, talk about it, nearby plants, and then talk about any power plant which have a same type of boiler or the same capacity, which is using the level state product. So this is how a proper sales pitch uh, moves. I might have talked about 10 to 15 minutes in this particular pitch because I have been explaining, I have been telling about the questions what customers would be asking. But ultimately, this all should go in 4 to 5 minutes max. And if it is an elevator pitch wherein you have to talk, only you have to have a time to say you are talking about, you are meeting with the MD and you have already done the proper homework with the maintenance guys, operation guys, and the control rooms. You already know the problem and you already have a solution. And then this will be converted into elevator pitch, where instead of asking the much open-ended questions, you have to talk only from here. You have to talk about introduction. You have to tell about that particular application for which you are talking about. You have to exactly say as a bonsai about the USP. You need not to talk about the problem identification. Instead, you have to tell that, sir, we have already discussed with XYZ maintenance head. We discuss about these issues. He has informed us about the issue, uh, which is point number three, and we have a solution. So you talk about, now you talk about the proper, because to a MD level or a decision making, a person, if you are talking about a revenue save of 3.5 CR per annum, that will click to his mind. So you have to jump shortly into problem identification to mainly about the problem, and then brief about your product, and very briefly about these benefits and the references. So if you are talking to a decision maker or the MD or the senior persons, then you have to compress this particular pitch into 2 to 3 minutes max. Anybody, any query or advice on this particular pitch? Please unmute and uh, let's make this session interactive, and then I will jump to any another pitch, sales pitch. Anybody, anybody.
गौरव कहाँ कलकत्ता में बैठे हैं कि एनबीयू एनबीयू में बैठे हैं क्या आप?
Sir, now it's Delhi.
Wow, also you brought NBU to your Delhi now.
Yes, sir. We have brought MBO to Delhi. Yeah.
Delhi.
Very good. नहीं, अच्छा लग रहा है, काफी bright and good, cheerful.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. अभी तो this एक background है. Like within next week, complete offices will be complete, and then we will be showing with everyone, both conference and office. Yeah.
तो आप लोग के परफॉर्म करने के लिए नई पिच तैयार हो गई है.
नई पिच तैयार हो रही है सर, नया एटमॉस्फेयर मिल रहा है.
तो बताइए, आई थिंक पिच के बारे में लोगों से पूछिए कि आई थिंक मेरा तो रिक्वेस्ट ये है कि कोई ऐसा सेशन कीजिए, मतलब ग्रुप वाइज, दोज हु आर इंटरेस्टेड दे कम इन एंड देन दे गिव देयर पिच, 2 minute pitch they speak, like we do only 30 minutes and 2 minutes into 15, like 15 of us speak about the pitch.
Right, sir. Right. We will do that. Yeah.
तो सबको तो बोलना चाहिए, बट आई थिंक पीपल कीप क्वाइट, तो इट इज नॉट अ वन वे सेशन. और बहुत लोग नए हैं, आई थिंक फ्रॉम 2001, सो दे शुड अंडरस्टैंड इट्स प्रीटी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव कोर्स एंड इट हेल्प्स. ओके,
So anybody, any question else? I will jump to the next pitch. And
Yes,
as
please.
yes, as VSR said, very shortly, like we would be discussing, and then how this group bridges can be framed. We will discuss with BG sir, SB sir, and accordingly, some intimations will be coming to all of us. So, with silence in the audience, I am going to next pitch and hope that silence would break with the next pitch. So, next pitch I have taken as again an existing customer, a good satisfied customer with Hora Malls for selling a upgrade. Uh, I would first, in a nutshell, talk about why this particular pitch has been taken up, because many of the times we say we ourselves, even I feel that a customer which is a satisfied customer, which are having our systems, which even buy the spares regularly, cannot be NBD. And this is a bottleneck which we ourselves make it. And we don't even approach to those customers for selling a upgrade or any modification and can make a NBT to them. So this particular sales pitch was prepared by Hora team very beautifully, and like a similar way as it was a level state pitch. So that's the reason it has been uh, selected in few from the few. So again, we will start with the high-tech introduction, a brief about the high-tech, and then straight to the topic. We are here to discuss about Hora Germany make control valves, which is already installed in our power plant. We have both motor-driven and turbine-driven boiler feed pump recirculation valves installed in both the units of your plant. Total six number of valves are installed. So first thing is we are calming the customer with informing him that we know what is our installation with you. So don't get puzzled that 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 I don't know what is my installation with you. We know that. Just have some patience. Something unique is coming for you. Then give a upper hand about the USP. Hora provides repeatable, tight, shut-off leakage class for this kind of walls in both isolation and control applications, supported by years of R&D to derive proper satisfaction of customers. As you are aware that during full operation of power plant, so with a statement like as you are aware, what we are doing is we are involving customer in our pictures, like involving his mind. He might also say yes, yes, or he may even move his head. हो सकता है उससे पहले वो सुन ना रहा हो, बट जैसे ही आप बोलोगे एज यू आर अवेयर, वो अपनी कम से कम सर हिलाना स्टार्ट करेगा और वो थोड़ा सुनना चालू करेगा. As you are aware that during full operation of plant, these valves should go on tight shut-off mode and should not allow any water passing to the deaerator, which in turn has an effect on auxiliary power consumption of the boiler feed pump motor, which increase with the rate of passing and is a huge loss. For many, this line would be a big, but the audience with which we are talking is something which is a regular for them. So for them, this is not a unique line, but an alarming line. They would be able to correlate the USP of our product with their problems, which increases with the rate of passing and it's a huge loss. So they will be able to recall that, okay, that X particular wall has a passing issue, and that passing issue they can even totally in mind can convert into revenue loss, rupees. Use, and if they can't, you give this bullet statement. Usually per amp access current drawing results is constant loss, even up to 10 lakhs per day. So this is a trigger USP for them. So now what you are doing is a problem identification. Problem is keeping the stocks. Hence, there should be a regular preventive maintenance of these walls. So What will happen? So here, with this pitch, you are not there to sell the spares. Rather, you are selling an idea of regular preventive maintenance. So with this, what will happen? You will able to pitch an upgradation of the walls and even get a order for the service engineers. And even you are talking about the health checkup of of the walls. Hence, there should be a regular preventive maintenance of this wall to give you a trouble-free longer life. As Hora walls are customized, stock of spares are never kept. And when you are talking about preventive maintenance, you are not saying directly that you have a big lead time. Instead, what you are saying that whatever you are having a installation of our walls, these are customized. And these all are metal parts and is manufactured and supplied on order basis, basically M2O. So with the pitching of the preventive maintenance, you are even triggering to him that, oh, okay, my valve is made to order. So even if I am going for a preventive measure, I have to have a spares and that to a timely stock because it is not a ready-made stock. This is a M2O. And then you expand the problem. Keeping a stock of all the mandatory spares for at least 30 to 40 walls. Percent walls installed your plant is recommended by HORA. You have to discuss about the plant health checkup, performance, last purchase details of the spares आप उनके साथ share करो and ask them the present condition of the stock. You talk about next shutdown, overhauling plans. You talk about service requirement during overhauling. Any emergencies, you try to create some environment of the service orders, partnering with the customer, educate customers, proper preventive maintenance, 5 year cycles. You talk about services under principal trained people supervision. And then you talk about pitching. We propose you a stock of minimum 2 years, sets of complete mandatory with 30% of the installed walls. You show them the sectional drawings, like this is the homework. You have to have the existing drawings of the walls what are installed. Again, cross-check with the customers. And then you talk about finally a benefit. This spares will help you for proper upkeep of the wall's health and during major overhauls, you should take a HORA trade supervisory services, sorry. This will reduce the problem of any passing and will directly impact on your plant's efficiency and huge losses financially. Then you talk about the references. Do one or two contact person sharings with them, and then definitely a sales tool should be ready with you. So with this, due to the time lag, I am going with a third particular pitch. As I am comfortable with Paul and Campbell more, so definitely last one will come from that basket because ultimately it is like whenever we end our sessions and we ask it for question and answers. So generally people ask questions from the last slide. So that's why I have kept this on the last so that I would be able to answer if anybody asks. And gas turbine customers not using the Campbell filters. Again, we would be start with the homework, capacity of the power plant, make of the gas turbine, summary of the group plants, connect with the respective sales to understand what we do in the group plants. Uh, with this line, I say that suppose that particular group plant does not fall in your particular region. So connect with the salesperson of the high tech who takes care of that particular region or even with a PL or GL to understand to know the history of that particular group. If customer have Campfill product installation, kindly call Campfill core team or because this pitch was in 2021, Campfill PLs were not answered like very full-fledged to give all the data. So here only Campfill core team was written. Now we can say that high-tech PLs, increase in number of industries in nearby areas and sectors of these industries. So now we come to introduction. We all know about the high-tech's corporate pitch. So first we talk about that corporate pitch and then we come out. Today we intend to discuss with you how just using the latest upgraded filters with will help you to increase the profitability of your power plant. So in all the three pitch, what is common is instead of selling the product, we are trying to uh, talk about the revenue loss or increasing the profitability. We represent Campbell, who are the leading manufacturers of the premium air clean solutions and have been serviced mankind since 1963. So this is a punch statement. Do you know 98% of input in your gas turbine is air? Have you realized how many industries have come up near your power plants? A thought process to him. You will surely agree that the AQI level has increased drastically in your area. So more company means more pollution, and more pollution means bad air which is going into their gas turbines. So his mind will start thinking. USP. Do you know with our patented heavy-plate design, more than 95% of the filter media can be used, which means maximum operation hours, less downtime, and high profitability. Again, we are not talking about the product, we are talking about the less downtime, which will increase the profitability. Now we are talking about the problem identification. Prior to suggest you for the level of upgradation required at your power plant, can you help us in the understanding? Again, open-ended questions. Which make filters are installed in gas turbines? Are these static or pulse? How many stages are there? How many filters are there in this stage? What is your changeover frequencies? What are the criteria you use to decide the changeover time of the elements? Have you ever checked filter output air quality? Is it the same what you are getting in 10 years back? So with a few of these problem identification, with the answers of these questions, you will be able to understand the problem. So now, whatsoever be the problem be, either he is not getting the proper life of the filters, either he is unable to get the proper uh, quality of the air which is coming out of the filters, or filters getting frequently choked. Either you are understanding that number of filters are not properly installed as per the size of the gas turbine. Whatsoever the problem is, you are identified. The solution is so approximately you are getting a life of say 10 months from one set of filters, and the major criteria for change of filters is uh, 5 months, and output air quality is degraded by 50%. So this is either of these things, either the month or the air quality percentage or the changeover frequency, or three of this thing. So इसमें से आपको select करना है from the answers you get. So one of the problem or either of the two or the good scenarios, all the three of the problems is the problem statement for the customer. And then you expand the problem. How you will expand is, as said before, before more than 98% of what enters in your machine is air. With a changing environment and decreasing profitability, due to surplus power, you need to keep your systems in good health with reduced downtime. We with this you pitch in the product. With our latest heavy plate design with GTC media, you can increase the changeover frequency by more than a year. So first problem is statement changeover frequency. You have a solution कि सर हमारा फिल्टर का लाइफ इतना ज्यादा है कि आपका चेंज ओवर फ्रीक्वेंसी 1 साल होगा, कम से कम 1 साल होगा. However, to offer you an exact media rating, we will run a LCC, life cycle cost analysis. This is a software vis-a-vis our design team will select and optimize solution for you. This is a template. Please return as duly filled. So when you talked about LCC, you will have a template. You have to send it to customer or ask if you have a time, ask the questions which are written in that questionnaire and get it filled. Basic details with a commitment so that within a 10 days or 15 days time frame, we will run this LCC and we will come up with a data. Sir, benefit. As the most predictable air solutions provider, we can keep your environment working better and longer while removing the element of surprise and enhancing the profitability by increasing the efficiency. And then you give a industry specific references, which is definitely in the sales tools. From there, you can take the references. So with this, I'm ending the today's session with three sales pitches and with 9 minutes left as per our pre-schedule. Uh, Opening question and answers for everyone. Any query, any highlights, and if there is no questions, then I requesting SB sir, BRP sir, and Sumit sir like to say something about the pitch and how to make this particular sessions more interactive. Yeah. Any questions, please? Yeah.
Yeah, Gaurav ji, I have a question, a little
Yeah.
bit different from this. Actually, sometimes we face some problem. Whom we meet, they are quite experienced and they know in and out of our product, our competitor. In spite of knowing everything, they are using our XYZ competitor. So, how to break that type of people? Means how to start pitching with them.
Yeah. But very good question, Avijit. Very good question. So uh, I will like
They know
point
our
wise.
USP. So,
Yeah,
yes.
point wise. I will break your question in two parts. One is customer using competition.
Hmm.
Still, they have a problem,
Yes. And they know it very well.
but and they know it. They know the problem, but they are unable to buy from us.
Yes. Sometimes.
So, are they technically convinced? First of all, because देखो, in this scenario there are two things. पहला है कि customers not able to change because of the process, and second is कि customers not willing to change. With our sales pitch, with our sales expertise, we can try to convince those customers which are not willing to change.
Yes. Hmm.
But if it is a process uh, like suppose a government organization, they bought something from L1, they are using it, they bought
No,
it in a
yes, yes.
capex, they are using it since last 2 years, and they have a binding कि यार अभी 2 साल पहले ही कैपेक्स में खरीदा है, वो सिस्टम चल नहीं रहा है, मैं अगले 2-3 साल तक उसको स्क्रैप नहीं कर सकता.
Right.
For that, it can be a different scenario altogether. We may have to go to totally the technical teams, like suppose NTPC. So we may have to go to the tech, start from the scratch to understand कि वो product सिर्फ L1 की वजह से आया है या टेंडर स्पेसिफिकेशन की वजह से आया है. वो टेंडर स्पेसिफिकेशन बना कहाँ से था, वो लोकली दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लांट से बना या कॉर्पोरेट से एडवाइस से आया है. Accordingly, for the next cycle, because that customer is not saying no, we have to start pitching कि जब उसका जो ब्लैक डेज है 2 साल 3 साल का कैपेक्स का, वी हैव टू वेट फॉर दोस एरास 2-3 साल, और उस टाइम तक हमको होमवर्क करना होगा जिसमें हम वो चीजें प्रिपेयर कर सके. अगर कॉर्पोरेट से स्पेसिफिकेशन आई है तो वी हैव टू गो टू दैट कॉर्पोरेट फेलो, we have to start pitching to that particular point. If it is because of the specification which has been made locally, we have to discuss that particular customer, sir, आपको problem पता चल गया ना L1 से लेके. So now अब अगला टेंडर जो आप 2 साल के बाद निकाल सकते हो इसको स्क्रैप करके, उसमें स्पेसिफिकेशन फ्रेम करना है. And we will guide you.
Yes.
आप मुझे एडवाइस करो कि who will help in framing that specification. This is a system. If
They're
now
not willing to buy.
now willing to buy, therein a proper pitching is coming up.
Yes.
Ex-customer having a problem, don't have any objection from the management or the purchase department to buy new thing, but his inheritance is not like, अंदर से उसको आवाज नहीं आ रही है कि मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन चाहिए. Now in those customers, you can like, I will talk in a high-tech manner. So first is Avijit. Avijit conveyed that I have a problem, but I cannot buy. Right. अभिजीत के पास मैं जब भी जाता हूँ, वो मेरी पिच बहुत अच्छे से सुनता है, मुझे 2 घंटे का टाइम देता है, मेरी सारी कैटलॉग्स देखता है, प्रेजेंटेशंस देखता है, एंड आफ्टर 2 hours ही सेज आई विल कम बैक, और वो कम बैक नहीं आता है. Then what I have to do is I have to, as we says all times, three rows, 3 layers. Therein pitching comes up of the 3 different layers. तो जब मैं अभिजीत को 1 बार 2 बार दे के प्रेजेंटेशन दे के अभिजीत बोल रहा है हाँ प्रॉब्लम है, बट सोल्यूशन मोड में नहीं आ रहा है, देन आई हैव टू गो टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल. आई विल गिव अ पिचिंग टू गौरव. आई विल ट्राई टू पिच इन टू गौरव. 30-40% Gaurav will tried, and now I have to pitch in a manner that only a salesperson will not pitch to Avijit. Even Gaurav will pitch to Avijit. And then also, if something not happens, then I have to go to SB sir. So this is what मेहनत करने वाले की कभी हार नहीं होती, like that. So if that particular person is very rigid, we have to maintain that sales pitch. We have to keep knocking at different levels. And when you will go to SB sir, informing him, sir, from your plant level itself, we came to know that X product is installed and you are not getting the results. We have a proper solution. Give him a proper sales pitch. He will break. He will break. And that are the reasons why we are getting the retrofit businesses. We all are getting it. And this way. Hope I am able to explain, and all the seniors, like I tried, but anybody can give a value addition.
Yes, Gaurav, actually, we should find out his pain area. Whether there is some constraint from the commercial side or the technical side. And accordingly, we can find out the solution. Secondly, we should make him to speak up. Speak up, and for example, if there is a problem in the production side, he should speak up and inform to mechanical maintenance or to inform to engineering service or technical service. So that if we motivate him to send a mail to mechanical maintenance, then somebody will definitely ask the question and find out the solution. So that proper diagnosis of his problem is very important. Where is the problem? If he has some commercial constraint or technical constraint, accordingly we can guide him some solution.
Yeah, I think Prabhat used the right word, constraints. Okay. Usually customers, they have constraints. If it is financial, technical, it's all understood. Okay. Or even the Bible of purchase and all, it's all understood. But the toughest one is if they have some ego problems or some trips with, say, high tech. Okay. Then they try to play all their portions, like how to avoid high tech goods. That is most critical. Otherwise, I think most of the customers, if you really work on their constraints, be friendly, you will get something or other. Okay. So constraints is, I think you have to work upon. customer constraints. Okay, which is beyond our technical USPs, which is beyond so many other things.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhaji.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
there comes the flexibility. Means as we talked about a pitch showing certain whatever the way we wanted to start and end. Sometimes people are under impression we will go by that way. Okay, and in spite if customers say something and thereafter maybe a change in between, you have to adjust yourself with the certain customer queries and coming back your things after listening out and giving certain reply whatever the way we are interacting, because this is an interactive session in front of a customer. It doesn't have only one way that we'll ask and get this thing and go to next step, all these things. This is just a guidance that how we are going to pitch for everybody's interest. Why I'm telling this. This is and of course, Gaurav, it is quite good to know about the pitch what is written almost 3-4 years back, and revisiting that at this moment is quite important. Although it is there in the Google Drive, share everything, and I'm doubting anybody going through this very systematically in everyday's business. I seriously not very confident about. But this is one of the media where people used to know about three products at least to some extent. Still, no question asked. There may be so many things people will go and check in backend that what is the pitch and then try to understand more and more. Okay, and adding few things here, like when we are pitching certain thing, it is should be like to the point, as you have mentioned that when we are interacting, we should be focused on certain objective of ours. Secondly, when we are communicating with anybody, it should be with utmost confidence. Like I feel, I hope, these are the terms for specific product doesn't work. If answer is there, it should be absolute. These are certain benefit for our people only. That's why I'm telling all this thing. Understanding the product subject is absolutely important when we are pitching for that product. Question may come something else apart from whatever written in the pitch. If you are no answer, then you are blank that point of time, and that may be a killing point for you. So for the understanding of everybody, what I observed in the past also, sometimes we go by theory, do not go by exactly the product related features, their other advantages. If customer asks some indirect questions, we should have all these answers in place. Yeah, please carry on. That's
Yeah,
all.
thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Any, yes, sir. Sorry.
हो गया?
हाँ सर, हो गया.
मेरे को सुनना है. अब देखिए एटलीस्ट 30 minutes, 15 of us.
ठीक है सर.
Plan
ठीक
it
है.
out. ठीक है.
ठीक है सर.
Okay, anything else?
Gaurav sir, one thing
Yeah.
I want to ask you, sir, in some cases when we visit customer, then suppose customer is having a system and they are using a product which is already a reputed brand, okay? So they generally don't opt to ship that brand or that make of product. Then how to pitch in case we want to penetrate in that market segment or in that to that customer?
Milan bhai, good question. Simple thing is कि first we have to ourselves feel that whatever we are pitching, that is the best product. First thing. And then any product, any competition must be having one particular USP with your nearest competition. And that is what we have to try to educate to customer. Because in the same way, our competition retrofits us. and the same manner we have to retrofit to our competition. और ये चूहे बिल्ली का गेम सेल्स में चलता ही रहेगा.
No, that is right. In some cases, we also know a few drawbacks of those competitors. But if we try to explain those to our customer, that may not work because they
negative
take it
marketing is
negative way.
something which
Yes,
is
yes. That's
never,
why I am telling you. Yes.
which is never
Entertained rather.
stamped. It is
Hmm.
it should not be there. But
Yes, yes.
when you are having informal sessions with that particular customer, that is a time wherein you can do a negative marketing, and those are the times when we do dinners, or we have 1 or 2 packs with them, or we go for a small tea break with that particular single customer, 1-to-1. But when you are having a interaction in a forum or in a offices, no negative marketing should be done. And even to a customer to whom you feel that confident that whatever you are speaking, he is listening, he is grasping, and he would be using it to support you. First you have to, before even doing a negative marketing, आपको वो भी समझना होगा कि वो backfire ना कर जाए. So first you have to understand about that customer, that whatever you are delivering, that is being used to help you instead of a backfire you. अब वो रहेगा. It cannot be 100% single company market for anybody.
Yes, yes. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Just a raw answer to it. Okay, one of my bosses, he said time is one factor, and marriages, even after 50 years, 60 years, do break. Okay, so that's it. Lage raho.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No, high-tech story में Sky Climber तो वही है. 1975 they got agency, and then we could break it in 2010. So 35 years.
Yes.
चलिए ठीक है. Okay.
Then
Okay then.
Thank you,
Thank you
Gaurav.
very much,
Thank you.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav bhai.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.